Hi. So as you've seen in the title, and you may have noticed, the last 2 weeks I've turned off the comments on my videos, and it's a hard, difficult decision to make. I've been kind of playing with it in my head for a couple months now, and it's just I've been struggling really. It basically comes down to my mental health, and I I've been it's been like a roller coaster. Reading the comments, it's been highs and lows. It's just been affecting my mood too much, and I've had to turn them off. All right, so I've made a bunch of notes to try to explain it all. I've been kind of trying to get my all my thoughts in one place, because it's been hard to kind of comprehend how or why I should be doing this when it's so out of the norm. And eventually, yeah, I decided that I should do this, or I should at least try to do it and see what happens. So I've got my notes just now here. So the comments have been extreme. And what I mean by extreme is that some of the comments are so positive, and some people are so consistent with their praise and just goodwill, and it's just been unbelievable. The amount of super thanks I've gotten with this journey, with this channel, has just been crazy and honestly really surprising. And I got to thank everybody who's done that. I really appreciate that. It's clearly, kind of struck a nerve, not struck a nerve, but it's kind of, people are really connecting to it, I think. And you guys are showing it in that way in the comments. But on the other end of things, when I say extreme, some of the comments have been so negative and so toxic that, it's funny the way people work. It's, you can get 100 people praising you, and then you'll get like a few that are criticizing you, and some of them are really, really nasty. And it's, of course, you're going to focus on the critical ones. I think that's just normal, natural human nature. And yeah, so every time I went into the comments, it's almost like a field of flowers in a minefield, So I would go look through, and yeah, people are being so kind, and then you just find just the most horrible thing being said about me or whatever. And the worst ones were really other people were getting attacked as well. So if someone would say something nice, and then someone would reply and tell them they were an idiot for thinking like that. And it was just those ones bothered me the most, actually. When other people were getting attacked, it just really, really bothers me. So, yeah. I didn't... You can tell I'm a sensitive person. So I did some math. I'm also analytical. So as many of you know, I had a channel before this called BCPOV. It was a mountain bike channel, and I ran that channel for 7 years, and I'm just looking at my notes here. It had 80 million views across the whole channel, and I banned 279 people after that 7 years. So now on Moto, I think we're 6 or 7 months in, at 4 million views, and I've banned 167 people. Now, if I told you I was banning people at twice the rate as BCPOV, my previous channel, that would sound pretty bad. But actually, if you do the math and you compare against views, I'm banning people at over 12 times the rate. And it's just, and the other problem is I'm posting twice a week, whereas BCPOV, I was not posting as often. And so that essentially means that I'm reading the comments, every day of the week. So every day I read a comment, has the potential of ruining my day. So yeah, that's basically it. So I've had a lot of days kind of ruined because of, you know, just like I'm catching strays left and right, you know, and I just, it's not, I'm not going to make it in New Zealand if I keep this up. You know, my mood is, it's a roller coaster. When the comments were on, it was such a roller coaster, and I would have sleepless nights, and I'd wake up tired the next day, and then I had to either go ride or work, and it's funny because before, you know, as many of you know, when I started the channel, I wrote a lot and then started putting the videos out a few months later, right? And all those days, I was so excited every day to go out and ride. But when your mood dips like that, and you wake up tired and somewhat depressed, your motivation to go ride is a lot lower. So it's just, that's why I say I'm not going to make it to New Zealand if I keep this up, right? So that's essentially, this is why I've turned the comments off, because I'm just not going to make it. And a lot of the comments are critical about how I do things, whether it's the bike maintenance or working on the bike or how I'm riding the bike or whatever. And yeah, I get it. You're watching someone struggle. But here's the thing. I'm new to this. I'm a beginner, and I've decided to take on this massive task, and I'm not going to get it right the first time. And so that's the thing, is I want to show the mistakes, because that's how it goes, right? I don't want to whitewash it. I want to show you when I screw up, or, you know, bad things happen or good things happen, or I just want to show all of it. And but I get gun shy when I start reading comments being critical. You know, it motivates me to cut that stuff out of the videos, because I just don't want to deal with the comments. And if you remember that in Utah, was it Colorado? I went to go visit this uranium site that was used to create the first nuclear weapons, and it got a bit emotional. And I knew when I was editing the video that if I put this up, that you know, the comments, some people are going to be supportive, but there's going to be a lot of these negative comments that are going to, you know, mess me up. And there was. But at the same time, I'm glad I didn't cut it. But, you know, I had at least one bad day after reading, probably a couple bad days after reading the comments, some of the comments from that video. And it sucks that I have to do this, but this is just the thing. This is how it's got to be, I think. And I know it's not just me, because there are other creators out there in the motorbike space that are having issues with the comments, or have had issues with the comments. I know there's a clip from Norley from Itchy Boots where she's like, I just don't want to show the maintenance of my bike because I know I'm going to get criticized every time I do that. And that sucks that she has to do that. So basically the choice is either I cut all this stuff out of the videos, or I deal with the comments and, you know, become an unhappy person, or I just turn the comments off. And that's what I've chosen to do. I've chosen to turn the comments off. So honestly, I've been struggling about this decision because it's so unusual, isn't it? Like, most YouTube channels will have the comments turned on, but it's honestly, it's been tough. And I do feel like I'm doing the right thing, but I also feel like I'm taking a risk here. Um, I can see on the past videos, I can see the like to dislike ratio, and yeah, it's definitely gone down. People aren't happy about it, or some people aren't happy about it. It hasn't gone down much, but you know, it's some people are unhappy. So, and I know I'm going to alienate people by doing this, but I have to do what's right for me, I think. And if I don't, you know, it's just not a good path for me to go down. So, yeah, I got more notes. Let me see here. Another thing you might say is, why don't you just not read the comments? And I've tried that, but it doesn't feel right. You know, you have all these people commenting on your videos and kind of talking directly to you, and you just ignore them. It doesn't feel right to me. And so I usually always end up going back. You know, one day I'll drop a video that I know will have a lot of negative. It'll be like a mechanical or some kind of video related to bike maintenance or something, and I'll kind of just take a step back from the comments, and then the next video will be I think is you know, a later video where there's not a lot to be critical about, and then I'll go into the comments there, and you know, I'm still catching strays, and or I'll run into comments from the previous video or whatever, and it's just, for me, it's better if it's just either on or off and not this kind of middle ground, because this middle ground is still just a total roller coaster. So, all right, so we've had 2 weeks with the comments turned off. How am I doing after that? Well, I have to say I'm a lot happier. I'm not having these dips anymore where I'm reading these negative things. And yeah, I'm more productive. I wake up, I want to go ride. Yeah, I'm editing, you know, a lot better, a lot more efficiently now, and it's just better, to be honest. I'm in a better way right now. So, and I get it. I read comments too. They definitely have value. I've definitely learned things from my comments and other comments. But I need the freedom to make my own mistakes at my own pace, and not kind of be manipulated by the comments. And the one side effect of all this is, you know, I mentioned earlier, a lot of people have been really kind. They've been sending me these super thanks. And that's, of course, I'm balancing all that. And like, well, the super thanks are actually a pretty decent chunk of my income. And I really appreciate everybody doing that. And I'm basically turning off super thanks because you know, it's part of comments. So I set up, if you go in the link in the description of the videos, you can donate by PayPal now if you want. And of course, you can always sign up on Patreon, where you'll get more on Patreon than you will on just for a normal donation. So yeah, I know a lot of people are not going to like that. They're going to see it as an ad sell or whatever. But I just want to give people an option, and I think that's probably the best way to do it. And yeah, I just want to kind of reiterate, like, you know, I'm new to the motorbike scene and I'm learning. And when you're learning something, mistakes are normal. You're going to make mistakes. And so for me, it makes all the sense in the world to share those mistakes and show the journey with all the kind of dramas and all the little nuances that go into it, and not whitewash it all and all that stuff. I was looking for a quote about mistakes, and I thought this was a pretty good one. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And I feel like that really encapsulates what I'm doing. Everything I'm doing is new. And so I'm going to make mistakes. And I just don't want to be afraid of the comment section when I post these videos. I'm not doing terrible things. I'm just riding my motorcycle and making and screwing it up from time to time. So, and it's just part of the adventure, isn't it? Like, it wouldn't be an adventure if it went perfectly. It needs to be, you know, and I wouldn't be having fun if it went perfectly every day either. You know, it needs to. I look forward to when it goes wrong. You know, so I hope you can understand. It is, you know, obviously I've been. It's really weighing heavy on my mind, like this decision, and I just, you know, I feel like at least for now it's the right thing. I may turn the comments on for certain videos, like the specials where the kind of recap videos at the end of each act. I may turn them on for those videos. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. But in general, I think my life is just, it's a giant weight lifted off of me, and I'm just happier for it. And I don't know what to say. Thank you for everybody that's watching and will continue to watch. And if you have watched but don't want to watch anymore, well, thank you for watching until now. And hopefully you'll come back in the future. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just end the video here. Thank you everybody for being so stoked on this adventure, and I'm really stoked too. I've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up and planned, and I'll give you a little teaser. I've been learning French, and because I'm thinking about a little bit of a detour, so that might give you a little bit of clue as to the detour. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll be there in the next video. Okay, bye.